This NFL mailbag is getting kicked off by a super chat from Jarryd Sanchez. Do you think Big Ben retires and Pouncey retires? I'll say out of the two players more likely, I'll say Pouncey is more likely because Big Ben, if he comes back this year, he gets $41.25 million. I don't know about you.
He's coming back.
I'm coming back for $41.25 million.
Big Ben's a bad guy. He wants the bag. He's getting that $41 million. He's coming back for next season.
Sports fan, if Miami trades for Watson, are they a contender? Absolutely.
They're already a contender.
I was going to say, they were 10-6. Sure, they missed the playoffs, but I think a lot of people here, top 5 defense. You give Deshaun Watson a top 5 defense with players like Mike Gesicki, Devontae Parker, and a lot of people don't remember this. Alan Hearns opted out. Albert Wilson opted out. There's some talent there. So, yeah, I absolutely do.
I agree. They're a contender if they get Watson. A Super Bowl contender, I'll add.
I love this question from Jayden. Why do the Packers want to rebuild so bad? I don't know, man. I think that they are definitely biting themselves a little bit, especially after losing another NFC Championship game, because there's a part of me that wonders if they would have made a move somewhere in the draft or even at the trade deadline. Would that have been the difference? Could that have been a difference?
That being said, they had plenty of chances.
Yeah.
They beat themselves in that game. Tom Brady said, here's the ball, 3 possessions in a row, and they couldn't score. So, I don't know. Packers are a team to watch out for this offseason. That's why you should subscribe to the channel because we're going to cover it all.
All right, Peter, what up? Do the Packers trade Jordan Love away if Rodgers has a good season next year as well?
What's his value? We've never seen him play. Honestly, I'm not even joking when I say this. If they trade him tomorrow, you're getting a third at best. He was the third-string quarterback in Green Bay this year. You're not getting a first.
Yeah.
Maybe a team throws a dart at a second, but I doubt it.
No way.
He hasn't even played.
Yeah, I'm not giving up anything higher than a third.
There's no chance they trade him because they know they're not going to get the value.
All right, y'all, so go ahead. Shout out your favorite player in the comments right now. If you're watching this live, shout out to you. If you're not watching it live, remember, we go live every single Monday and Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. Shout out who your favorite player is. I'm always curious to see what you guys have to say. Looking down in the comments right now, I got some Sean Lees. I see Russell Wilson. And then, oh, yeah, look at that, an Alvin Kamara. Speaking of that, if you want to go get yourself an Alvin Kamara jersey or whoever your favorite player, maybe team is, go to chatsports.com/jersey deal. We got hundreds, and yes, I literally mean hundreds of NFL jerseys under $80, and they come in all sizes, different color schemes. I mean, these are high-quality jerseys, too, by the way.
Nike.
Like legit Nike jerseys. So chatsports.com/jersey deal. We're going to put the link in the comments and in the description. Some of these new jerseys as well, Harrison.
Yeah, you get the new combos. By the way, Bengals are releasing new uniforms soon.
Oh, yeah.
Those will be available pretty soon after, so keep that link in mind, chatsports.com/jersey deal. Fascinated to see what their new jerseys look like. The Bengals have always had cool jerseys, so check that out, chatsports.com/jersey deal.
Brandon Dillman, if you were Washington's GM, what's your solution at quarterback? They've got a top 3 defense, top 10 O-line according to PFF, and a ton of cap flexibility. If I'm Washington, I do try to figure out a way to how I bring in another quarterback. I don't necessarily know who that is. The top 2 guys, I would say top 3 guys on your list, obviously, are the top 3. Stafford, Watson, Rodgers.
You have options. You could try to get one of these top draft guys. However, I would try to get a guy who's established because I think that's a roster that's ready to win. Bring in a quarterback, get another receiver with McLaurin up there in Washington. You can win the NFC East.
That's
again.
obvious.
I mean, you won it this year. I mean, you get a legit quarterback in there, that's the front runner will win it next year. Yep. I mean, the defense is legit, and you got a number 1 receiver in McLaurin. Get another weapon, get a real quarterback. I think you can win 10, 11 games next year.
All right, Mikey Seahawks. Should the Seahawks draft or sign a tight end, especially with Greg Olsen retiring? So Greg Olsen called it a career. I was a little bit depressed about that. I will say I thought the Seahawks paid him a little bit too much. This past year, 1 year, $7 million.
He's done. Yeah.
But what do you think? Draft or sign a tight end for the Seahawks?
They don't have a first-round pick.
Correct.
So if you're asking about Kyle Pitts, forget it.
Yeah.
I would go see what the veteran market is because you have a couple of guys in a rotation like a Disley, if you want to have him part of your future as well, like a Jacob Hollister type.
If Pat Freiermuth somehow finds his way to the second round, the tight end from Penn State, I'm a big fan of him. I actually thought he was going to be in the first round, but Kyle Pitts has totally separated himself.
I mean, here's kind of a hot take. Bears are probably going to cut Jimmy Graham. He was pretty solid this year. Bring him back on a 1-year deal.
Yeah, be interesting.
I think there's a worse idea. They're familiar with him.
All right, y'all. Will Russell Wilson win another Super Bowl? All right, I like this question. Y for yes or N for no? I mean, they were one dumb play away from doing it. Should have ran the football with beast mode. But, hey, go down. We'll make this the pinned comment on today's NFL Mailbag. Will Russell Wilson win another Super Bowl? Why for yes or and for no? Okay, we got the next Super Chat coming in from Matthew Riche. Who can the Saints target in the draft? Could we get Stafford or Watson?
Look, the Saints are going to be linked to some of these quarterbacks, and I know we always say, you can manipulate the salary cap. At some point, the Saints are just going to have to bite the bullet, and I kind of feel like it's going to be this year. They're just going to roll with Taysom Hill and see what happens. If he shocks us all and they win like 10 games with him, there's your quarterback.
For sure.
If he does what we think he does, and he's okay, he's sporadic, has some exciting plays, but clearly isn't a franchise quarterback, then you reset for 2022. I think Sean Payton is intrigued by the idea of seeing how it goes. And look, they just got to bite the bullet on the salary. Like, they've been pushing this back for years to try and make it work with Drew Brees. I don't think they're going to trade for one of these top-flight quarterbacks.
Super chat coming in from Ryan McNair. What do you think the Panthers will do at quarterback? So they have Teddy Bridgewater for 2 more years.
Yep.
However, the more and more I'm starting to think about it, I think actually drafting a quarterback in round 1 could be a very interesting. Like, if Zach Wilson's there,
Trey Lance, maybe.
Trey Lance, even. I mean, learning behind a smart quarterback like Bridgewater.
I think it's Watson or draft for them. I think they'll try and swing big for Watson. If that doesn't work
the
out.
fantasy football player in me wants Deshaun Watson to go to Carolina.
Oh, my God, with DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson. That would
Christian
be incredible.
McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey. That would
Wild.
That would be awesome. I don't think they'll get him, though, so I'm going to say they draft one of these quarterbacks. Sit him for a year behind Teddy B because Bridgewater's still serviceable, and then you got your starter for 2022.
Make sure you guys subscribe if you want NFL mailbags and live shows right to your phone or your computer. Hit the big red button that says subscribe. It's literally the button that you'll see underneath this video. So whether you're sitting here watching like this or if you're just watching on your desktop, seriously, look underneath the video, click the big red button that says subscribe, and turn on your notifications. So if there's breaking news that happens, which we're getting into breaking news season here, y'all, make sure you hit the big red button that says subscribe. I don't want you to miss it. This next one's coming in from Kevin Keepers. Get a picture. Could the Broncos trade for Aaron Rodgers? Okay. I mean, could they? Sure. And I mean, that we saw before the Broncos bring in a veteran quarterback, and at that time, Peyton, I don't think people thought Peyton was done, but there was at least some questions around his neck.
Neck injury.
Nobody thinks Aaron Rodgers is done.
No.
But we've seen it work before. John Elway, Aaron Rodgers. Hey, if Rodgers goes to Denver, I still don't think they're the favorite in that division. However, top 5 team in the AFC.
He fits well because you got some speedsters guys like KJ Hamler. You got Cortland Sutton, who really high points the football well.
Love
and
Noah Fant.
Jerry Jeudy's pretty good, and you got a legit tight end in Noah Fant. I think the fit would be great. I wouldn't put them at the top of my list. If you're watching live, stay tuned for our Aaron Rodgers trade destinations. If you're watching at a later date, that video is probably already published, so check that out. But this would be interesting in Denver. I think they could be a dark horse team for Aaron Rodgers.
So where do y'all think Rodgers is going to play next season? I mean, do you think it's going to be the Green Bay Packers? Obviously, tight Packers. His contract can be moved. I mean, for a team, if they end up moving him, you're only going to have to pay basically $24.3 million over the next 3 years to have Aaron Rodgers. Per season. To have Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback, $74 million is the overall contract for those 3 years. But let us know in the comments, where will Rodgers play next year? Got a super chat coming in from Travis Dolly. What are some dark horses do you think could trade for Matthew Stafford? I'm thinking maybe the Raiders or the Titans.
No way on the Titans.
Titans don't make any sense.
Tannehill had a
they
good
got
year.
Tannehill.
Tannehill had a good year.
Tannehill had probably one of the quietest, best years in football.
Honestly, he's probably better than Stafford at this
he's better
point.
than Matthew Stafford.
Like,
he fits that offense better than what Matthew Stafford would.
that doesn't make sense.
Like, Derrick Henry gets a lot of credit. Derrick Henry is really, I think, also taking that next step because of how great Ryan Tannehill is in the play-action game.
He's a threat to run the ball.
It's a perfect fit.
Stafford's not a threat to run. So,
and then for the Raiders,
you explored that today.
Yeah, go check out the video on the Raiders Report channel. Literally, you can type in Raiders, Matt Stafford, guarantee it shows up. I want you to go look at my answer there. All right, y'all, if we missed your question, we will get to another mailbag if you're watching this live, but you can always hit us up on Instagram or on Twitter. Slide into Harry's DMs at HGrahamNFL. Talk Chiefs, Bears, NFL, draft. He's great for that. College football even. NBA, he does it all. If you want to hit me up on IG, talk to me about what's going on in your life or football, fantasy football, Raiders, slide in my DMs. I'm at Mitchell Renz 365. All right, this next one's coming in from David Webster. All right, seeing what Detroit has done with the front office, Dorsey, assistant GM, Deuce Staley, assistant coach, Lynn is OC, are they actually showing competence? I actually think that you're seeing a lot more of a potential rebuild, and they are trying to, I think, go with some people who used to also play football.
Fresh energy. That's what they're trying to do. You guys saw Dan Campbell's press conference. They're trying to bring attitude to that organization. We'll see if it works. John Dorsey's had success as a GM, so to have him as an extra voice in that front office, I think has some value. He's also been known to butt heads with people. The Deuce Staley hire is underrated. This guy has worked his way up to be an assistant head coach with Philadelphia, and he got pissed because they didn't even consider him as the head coach. So he was like, get me out of here. And now he's going to Detroit to be an assistant coach there.
The biggest thing with the Lions is they need to be patient. You need to be patient because it's not going to happen in year one. It might for some teams, but be patient. Trust your coaches. Trust the draft process. Trust free agency. So if you're a Lions fan, be patient. Got a super chat coming in from Sean C. Should Jameis Winston stay in New Orleans and double down by opening a Cajun restaurant and name it Crab Legs?
Question of the day. That is incredible, Sean. Definitely yes to the restaurant. As far as staying in New Orleans, look, if Sean Payton says, hey, I will give you a legitimate chance to compete for the starting job,
you stay.
Then you absolutely stay. Where else are you going to get that opportunity?
I don't have a good answer for
I mean, maybe a team like Chicago if they whiff on a bunch of other options, but I don't think like a Miami's going to bring you in. Like I would definitely stay and try to compete for that starting job.
Unless maybe a job like the Colts, but I don't see that.
They have better options.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, Devonish Kumar, should the Bears trade Tariq Cohen and 3 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson? Yes.
I mean, yeah, I don't know why Cohen needs to be in there, but
yes. I would do that trade in a heartbeat.
If the Texans were like, hey, 3 firsts, throw in Cohen, we'll take him, you're like, fuck yeah, let's go get Deshaun Watson. Sorry, Tariq, I appreciate your services, but we're going to go get the 5th or 6th best quarterback in the league right now.
Chris, made with real cheese. Trade Jimmy G and a 2nd and a 3rd for Matthew Stafford. Is that enough?
I think it's got to be a first.
I'm with you. I think it's got to be
swap
a first
the 2nd for a first, and that probably does it. 1st, 3rd, Jimmy G. I don't think the Lions would want Jimmy G back, though.
See, that's the other thing.
You're swapping contracts, basically.
Yeah,
I think value-wise that works.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think if the Lions are trading Stafford, it's not to bring in basically the same guy. Like, they're not that different.
I think a 1st and a 3rd by itself would be enough to get quarterback Matthew Stafford. Then, obviously, what do you do with Jimmy G? Could you try to trade him? Sure, get extra draft capital.
Flip him to the Patriots, flip him to the Bears, whatever the case may be. Someone will trade for Jimmy G. That's definitely a possibility.